the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past.
The death of bin Laden marks the most significant achievement to date in our nation's effort to defeat al-Qaeda.
All you got to do is start looking around, start thinking for yourself, start investigating things, and you will see it all right there. So you have the power. Humanity has the power. We have the power. Do you want to fight? You better believe you got one!
Let us never tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories.
As for me, give me liberty or give me death!
The answer to 1984 is 1776.
Welcome to the InfoWars Nightly News. I'm your host, Jakari Jackson. Here's what we have in store for you on this June 20th, 2013 edition.
Tonight, was it a bomb or just a car accident? An engine ejected down the street and damage done to the car are not consistent with the LAPD story. A look at the suspicious deaths of other high-profile enemies of the state. And Michael Cargill on what you need to know to protect yourself and your family. Then, Alex Jones interviews Viggo Mortensen. All that and more on tonight's InfoWars Nightly News.
And welcome back. Top story headline: evidence indicates Michael Hastings was assassinated. Now, this is something that was talked about on the Alex Jones radio show, and we'll show you those clips in just one moment. But let's go to the article first. For all normal reasons, which account for virtually all car fires in modern cars, the fire would have started when the engine compartment progressed slowly down and scorched the hell out of the paint before ever reaching the gas tank. And keep in mind, the damage done to the car was not consistent with the LAPD story. We'll go on. Whenever I'd been reporting around groups of dudes whose kind of job was to kill people, one of them would usually mention that they were going to kill me, said Hastings. Now, as I alluded to earlier, Alex Jones and David Knight talked about this at great length on the Alex Jones radio show, so here's their in-depth report.
We're going to get into a special report now, the evidence that Michael Hastings was killed. And now the media will go along when they burn down a cabin with somebody in it, when they shoot somebody in the top of the head during questioning at their house. It's not being questioned. And that's when you go into a real tyranny. They'll start killing thousands of people. They'll start arresting people. And at that point, media and journalists have to start taking precautions to protect ourselves. And then if it goes too far, things go on the offense. That's the only way to stop things like this. And they want to start a war. They want to have a secret war against journalists. They've been having one with the whistleblowers, all of it. I mean, if they kill me, folks, you know who did it, and you know what to do. Just going to leave it at that. Now, David Knight, you're here with us. One main reason they haven't killed me yet, and they've beat me up and threatened to kill me plenty of times, is they know if they kill us, I have a media organization left behind. That's why you're here, buddy. I've told the crew that privately. You're here, so if they kill me, it continues on. And I want justice. I want reporters there. If they blow me up, they put me in a room with a hooker. You guys work with me. You know I don't do that stuff.
That's right.
They killed me.
Yeah, all right.
They killed me, period. I don't do drugs, none of it. So bottom line, if this happens, they killed me. This is so obvious. We've got newscasts that are local, but not on the national news, where explosion, engine flies down the road. I mean, this is incredible. We're going to get to that. This is a short segment. We're going to have you in the long segment coming up. This is a larger subject of political assassination. But, I mean, this thing absolutely stinks to high heaven.
You know, last night when I was getting ready to do the nightly news, I started looking at this, and I didn't even get into why this might happen. I didn't even get into the conspiracy theory aspect of it. I'm just looking at this as an accident, and it made absolutely no sense to me. You know, first you hear, oh, it's a fiery crash, high-speed crash. He hits into a tree, and the car catches on fire and burns. That's the way people typically die in a fiery crash. They get pinned in a car that then is somehow compromised mechanically. A fire starts, they can't get out, and they die. That's not what happened here. If you look at the eyewitness report, the only one they've got is a guy named Luis Cortez. And he says he's driving down the road, sees a car coming at him at high speed, and it jackknifes. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, because jackknifing is typically what you're talking about a truck doing, this articulated semi-trailer. But he said jackknife and pieces flew everywhere. And you look at the report.
That's an explosion.
Yeah, it's an explosion. If you look at the report from the people that were there, they said that it sounded like a bomb, shook their whole house, rattled their windows. And then another guy points to the engine that he said flew 50 to 60 yards down from the point that it had stopped. And it makes absolutely no sense that an engine is going to fly out of a car at a right angle to the point that it's going when it hits a tree. Then if you look carefully at the pictures, you see that the car is not really crashed. It came to rest up against a tree.
Yeah, it's not even really run into the tree. It's up against it.
Yeah, it's up against it. It's kind of beside it. You can actually
see the car's exploded. The engine's flown down the road.
And you can see the nose, what's left of the frame of the car, sticking out beyond the tree. So it's kind of like it's beside the tree. After the fire is out, you can see this in this picture from the LA Times. And the nose of the car appears to be sticking out from beyond the tree. The fire seems to be concentrated around the passenger area, but there's absolutely no way that the car is going to veer off to the left or to the right. And
well, I've seen 100 photos of car bombs. That's what they look like.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. It was a tremendous impact there, but the car was not compromised, as you would expect when it hits a tree. And the fact that the engine flew down the road, and the fact that this one person who saw it said the pieces went everywhere. I mean, that tells you that it blew up while it was going down the road. It did not hit a tree, catch on fire, and then... We're
going to get more into this and get into the statistics, but tell people about this clip.
This clip this is from the Nightly News. So we had this last night. It was a local news story that had this on there, and you'll hear the people, the eyewitnesses' reports on here. Let's take a look at that clip.
Rolling Stone magazine called Michael Hastings a fearless journalist who refused to cozy up to power. His death at 33 came by way of a fire-fueled and explosive crash.
It sounded like a bomb went off in the middle of the night. My house shook. The windows were rattling.
I couldn't have written a scene like this for a movie where the engine flies from the car, which was about, I don't know, 50, 60 yards up, right down here to this telephone pole.
Unbelievable. And in the national news, it's no foul play, ran into a tree. They blew that car up. Maybe we should say a car crashed into the Oklahoma City building.
Yeah. Right.
A car did. You know.
Well, and when you look at that picture, the engine doesn't look like it's on fire, right?
No, it's been blown out.
It's been blown out, and it looks like it's going back. Part of the transmission there, you see the alternator.
Well, you're an engineer, but you notice it's all aiming back from its trajectory being blown out.
Well, you're not gonna send the engine down the road at a right angle to the point at which it hits a tree, even if it hit the tree. But when you look at the pictures again, you don't see the body being smashed up against a tree. And so when we looked at this last night,
they put the bomb in the dash. You could see it right there. So it blew back towards him and blew the engine out the front.
That's right.
Then the car flipped down the road up against a tree.
That's right. Absolutely.
Seriously, when I talk about people know what to do if they start rounding us up, disappearing us, I have worked as hard as I can to be nonviolent. I have done everything I can. And if they kill me, I don't want people to just go out and randomly, be violent. I want you to aggressively get the word out. Because I'm not afraid to die. I'm afraid of these people running the world. Because once you give into a mafia culture, it just starts taking over and expanding until there's no society and you collapse like all those third world countries. And then the argument is, well, even if you're not a bad person, work with the evil because you'll have a better lot in life. It's the disease of our civilization. And obviously, if they start disappearing people in the night, Alexander Solzhenitsyn talked about it, how they burned in the camps later wishing they would have done something. I don't think we've gotten to that point yet, but we need to have a real debate, not just about NSA spying and persecuting the Tea Party with the IRS and persecuting pro-life groups who stand up for little babies. Look how evil these mafia people are. That's all it is we're being muscled. They are killing people, and David Knight covered it last night. Authors come out with the history, and the New American Magazine wrote about it, about how the Pentagon admits their main tool now is assassination. Well, it's been like that for at least 60, 70 years. I mean, I know a lot of Army officers, Texans, who were in secret assassination groups here in the U.S., and it's not like the people I know are something special, ladies and gentlemen. It's giant. Do you understand that? And they have got, let's be conservative, more than 10,000, I would guesstimate, current domestic assassins that are that are Army, Navy, you name it. When you become a Navy SEAL or Green Beret or any of this stuff, or even Delta Force, then there's levels above that, okay? And those levels are called the dark side. And it's the narcotics, it's all of it going on. And these are like made men. I don't know if you can tell the story about your Navy SEAL friend. You were just telling me, oh, you don't want to tell it?
No.
But I mean, these guys, you know, it's disgusting. It's not cool. It's not tough. And they kill each other, too. I mean, no doubt they did a hit on Chris Kyle. No doubt all this stuff's going on.